fun. I want today to be fun. And so we get to sit down with someone who I have admired from afar for a long time. And I was so glad when I reached out and he said yes. So today we're going to hear about Ronnie and all his accomplishments. I want to learn a little bit more about him and his business. And I'm going to ask some questions, and then at the end, we're going to let you guys ask him some questions. So how does that sound?
Perfect.
Sound good? So Ronnie, before we get started and I ask you a bunch of questions, why don't you tell us a little bit about you, how long you've been in the business, and whatever else we need to know.
Well, let's see here. I've been in the business 12 years full time.
12 years, 8 months.
12 years. Okay.
But who's counting?
They get there?
I do.
I do have a few kids. I have a kid that's 21, 8, and 10.
Were you 10 years old?
What?
I know, right? I've been, my wife, she coaches soccer. She trains soccer teams. She teaches at Mustang High School, coaches soccer for the high school, and then also does club soccer. Which I did that for 18 years, and that's how I met her. So our schedule's pretty insane. Because she's big.
Do all your kids play?
They do. We do soccer and basketball, multiple situations and that. So her availability is very limited in the evenings and weekends. So how do I? Right?
But we're gonna. Wow. And so real estate 12 years. I'm gonna jump into my questions because I do have a little bit of a path here that we're going down.
Yeah, it's fine.
So we talked a little bit about what you do outside real estate. So other than real estate and soccer, anything else that you do outside?
Outside of real estate, let's see. I exercise when I can. That's always been a big part of my life. I do coach the kids a little bit still in basketball. I coach the youngest one a little bit when we do basketball. It's still recreational level for that. So we go to movies. Since being at Keller Williams, I read. Not really much before that.
Yeah. I think a lot of us are there.
So
ChatGPT does not count as reading.
that's right. We do like to travel when we can. So
Awesome.
yeah.
Awesome. So there is life outside
There's
of
life.
real estate business.
Yes, I get to go to all of the kids' stuff. I mean, I'm taking them to school in the mornings. They get to go to all of their activities. I pick them up in the afternoons. I take them to their activities. So
We're going to talk a little bit about that because I think there's a lot of agents that their lives are so full that oftentimes they miss out. Have you missed out on things? Brady?
A little bit.
Jason? Jericho? You're trying to do
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's always, it warms my heart when I hear agents that really take time to be with their family.
yeah, you have to remind yourself. We don't have to. We get to.
Even better. Good for you. All right, so what did your life look like before real estate? What were you doing before real estate?
I was here in Norman at Johnson Controls. I was a regional.
Oh, that's what you know.
Regional. That's how I know Karen.
Okay. He was my best friend.
We sat by each other for 9 years, almost 9 years. I was a regional pricing analyst for 9 years. So basically, I would gather comparable data like we do with houses, but I did it for the HVAC industry from Maine down to Florida over to Arkansas. So we gather the data, do margin analysis and different measuring metrics within Excel, and then present them to leadership to develop pricing programs for $100 million distribution. So then I would go out, meet with the leaders of those big companies and train them on their pricing programs and strategies.
Wow.
Yeah.
Some of that stuff's kind of transferable, huh?
It's very, very transferable.
Well, how did you get into real estate? Where did that come in?
Well, when I got divorced, my daughters, they were going to move back to Tulsa to Broken Arrow. So it's like, okay, well, how do I get this to her by her? So I went into outside sales for the first time in my life at 34 years old. Never done it before. So I just got behind the counter of a territory sales manager in Tulsa. So I did a little bit of training here and then went up there with basically no training, right? So moved up there to be by my daughter and, started building everything. Well, 8 months in, we had a change in life where they were going to be moving to Florida. So we did all that and everything, and my Shannon was here, so it was like, okay, I'll go back to Oklahoma City. Well, I didn't want to go back to Johnson Controls to be inside. I kind of maxed out where I was, and if I wanted to do other things, I would have to move to different cities, and I didn't want to do that. So my father-in-law was a KW realtor in the Dallas Metroplex area. At that point in time, he'd been doing it for 15 years or so. So he says, you'd be really good at this. Just go to Keller Williams, because he'd been to a few. He's like, you want to learn how to do it, go to Keller Williams, like everybody says, as you learn when you're here. So that's what I did. I just called the broker and got all set.
And there you are.
Yeah.
And you never left.
Never left.
And I love that. I
Yes.
love that. So, okay, if you were to ask your friends or family to describe you in 3 words, pardon me, what would they say?
Full of life.
I can see that.
That's 3 words.
Hey, I'll take it. So let's go back to the beginning. What was your first 6 to 12 months? What did that look like? Were you successful right out of the chute?
No, I mean, I think I had 8 to 12 deals in that time period. The key was having, I guess you would say like a mentor, someone you just go to for everything. And mine was Charlotte Garganti. Remember Charlotte?
Oh yeah.
So
Is she still teaching?
I think so.
Yeah.
I haven't spoken to her in a while. However, I had someone to call for everything. Everything. I wore her out. Called her every contract for the first year. Called her everything. Walked me through this one. And she was always available. I think that was the key to getting. That's just what I needed, and she was always available for me. So the key element when you first start, you're getting going, and you're really, really green is there just that one person you know that you can trust that's going to give you the right answers? That's key too. Unfortunately, there are people within all of our areas that we are that give answers that are not so correct. The key is you have someone you trust that you know is correct, and go from there.
So true. So true. So I'm going to ask you this. I ask this all the time. Did you ever question whether this was going to work for you or not?
No, not really.
And I'm thinking if you had 8 to 12 transactions your first year, that's more than most.
Yeah, and then you read about Ben Penny, and you're like, whoa. And some of these other people you meet when you go to these different seminars and everything like that. But I never really thought of doing anything else. And I was pretty fortunate to have a father-in-law that coached me a little bit through that time, and I had someone that I could lean on locally that was here. I just figured it was a matter of time because there was no ceiling, and I got excited about it. When you're in the corporate world and the security's there, that's nice, and then you know the salary is, and then you do 8 to 12 deals, you're like, wait a minute, I will say this, I generally like the structure of the corporate world where you show up, your job is there, you got a company credit card and a company laptop, and it wasn't easy not to go back. They called me for 2 years to come back after I was here. I even gave them, I just didn't do it. I mean, they were all, gave them a number, they said yes. I was like, well, but that's where it is, I think just the opportunity, getting into real estate and sticking with it, I felt like, and then when we start talking about your time dynamic, where's your time spent, I was still coaching soccer at the time. So I was coaching club teams and doing deals, standing out on the pitch like, hey, hold on guys, just keep going. So there's that flexibility to keep coaching. And then we started having kids and I had to retire.
Yeah, okay.
So it worked out nice with what I wanted to do. But
to touch on the corporate thing, because I think people, if they have been in the corporate world where it is 8 to 5, and you've got to be there, you're on, and moving from that into a, you get to pick your time and what you do. For me, when I came in I-2, I just went to work, and I treated it like a job when I first started real estate. And it sounds like that's kind of what you did too, with sprinkling soccer in at the same time.
Yes. Treating it as the job and knowing 100% that the business wasn't given to you.
Yeah.
You have to work, and it's harder. It's much harder. You own a business and you work in the business. It's 2 jobs in one. Anybody that gets the real estate license and hangs their license, you're stepping into 2 jobs. You're a business owner and you're working in the business. And those are 2 different skill sets. That's everybody learns when you do it. That's why the longer you're in it, the more of us, every Paul, Dick, and Harry that has done real estate at some point in their lives. Because they all think it's easy. I had someone tell me that, I get a lot of clients now that get their licenses. You do this why you build a lot of clients, and they go, it's like, well, why did you do it? Well, they make good money. Okay. Get ready. The corporate lifestyle and being an athlete, you already know that it's going to be work there. You know how to structure yourself, being self-motivated, that type of thing.
I call it discipline.
Discipline.
I think that's where.
Work rate's big when you're.
Yeah. So, what were you doing back then, that you aren't doing now?
Wow. Let's see. Well, there was no such thing as a CRM in my world, or a database. There was paper and notes, and that was it. So I'm not sure if that.
Did you have like a notebook, or what did you do?
Yes. Sticky notes, notebook. I would just use an Excel. I got into Excel. I'm very skilled in Excel, so I was always in Excel. However, I didn't keep up. It was just different. I'll get into more of the core components of things in a minute. There wasn't. The mindset is, what is a contact? Is the only opportunity with, it's an opportunity, but what is it? Are they ready to do business or not? Nope. All right.
Yeah.
It's about the opportunity that can come at any point in time, and that was something I did not do back then that I do now. The mindset of who comes into my world, is completely different.
It actually is. And now, if we have a name, a contact, they're gold.
Yes.
Right? Yeah. It's like, I can't tell you how many people will walk into my office and say, it was a horrible lead. I said, why was it horrible? They're not going to buy anything for a year and a half. And I answer, are you going to be in business in a year and a half? Put it in your pipeline, man. That gives you a year and a half to build an incredible relationship.
Right. And they say on average each person has about 200 names in the phone that they actually know who they are.
Yeah.
So that lead that they gave up on for a year and a half, that was really a connection to 200 people that could have brought business to that they could have brought business in. 200 people.
Ding, 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 ding. That's probably the best thing you said.
Hey, I'm keep telling myself right now, I'm like, oh gosh, I gotta
stay in touch.
but that's really what it is. Every contact can be 200. On average, 200 deals. If you read everything that we learned in Kay Williams' models,
Yeah.
That's right. It's not about, because most people, if they're only going to move 5 to 7 times, now it's less, right? So let's just say 3 to 5 times. If you're counting on that, that's 10. If we're counting on referrals, you could refer 10 a year.
Yeah. Starts changing, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So let's talk about your business. When your business started to grow, what did you focus on when it was really, you were starting to see a trajectory up? What did you focus on that was probably made the biggest difference for your growth?
Keeping in touch with people. Following up. You know, the money is in the follow-up. It's amazing how I have it every day. The goal is to let anything slip through the cracks. We had 5 people call on this listing. Forgot about 2 of them, called 3 of them back. Well, then I keep in touch because they say it takes, 8 to 12 touches to build some trust and some type of, hey, they're going to actually reciprocate back to you in communication somehow. Man, let it go. Then they go back to me and say, oh my gosh, I got like 10 people that call and I got a phone number. I have no idea, it's been 2 years. So systematically, how do we know what the question was?
Yeah, well, I was saying, what was the biggest difference when you started to grow?
Not letting the people go.
Not letting
Keeping them in front of you. Keeping them on some type of pattern, some type of touch program, however that looks. For you
So
guys.
early on, did you have an extravagant touch program?
No.
Okay. Was it called 4 times a year? Was that it?
If I got to that, yes.
Yeah.
So it's just a spreadsheet, and I said, okay, I talked to this person in January, and then if I don't get the picture, oh man, it's April, I didn't talk to them in January, I should call that person. And then some of them I wouldn't have dates. Some I'd have dates to start cherry picking. Well, that's not the best practice either. So it's really just all about keeping track of people.
That's so good. So good.
Now, there are a million ways to do it. That's one way. I mean, the key is always in the follow-up. So no matter what pillar of business you're using, it might take 8 to 10 follow-ups. Just as an example, there was somebody in the CRM database. I didn't really ever establish communication with them. For 2 years, just a random voicemail, a random this, a random that. Then all of a sudden they reach out to me and they want to list and sell. I mean, list and buy. So you never know when it's their time. You just want to be there at the right time. Oh, and then when you don't keep in touch, how many have you? Ronnie, it just happened really quick, and my friend at church was a realtor, and I haven't heard from you in a minute. They never really said it, but we know. It's all about timing. You have to be in front of them at the right time and be top of mind. And they're like, or let them know how you service. How many of us have had that call? Well, Ronnie, I didn't know that you sold homes in Edmond. What? You know, I mean, that's true. I mean, hey, one of the biggest, you talked about what we're doing now, one of the biggest changes I've implemented is every person that I talk to, they know what we do, how we can help them, how we can help abroad. How can I help them in Denver? How can I help people they know in Washington? I mean, making sure everybody knows how you work and what you do, how you service.
Yeah, it's so important. So sometimes we get lost thinking they know,
Yeah.
and they don't know.
Yes.
This was happening with my best friend from college last year. Like, it was crazy.
Oof.
And he was like, yeah, it's an open house, we're going to buy a listing agent, all that stuff. I was like, okay, well, if you need to do that, do that. And we started talking through it, and it didn't take long for him to realize, like, that was a terrible idea. Like, for 10 reasons. Like, they couldn't afford the house, a lot of stuff. But yeah, it happens all the time.
It does
It
happen.
does.
Try when a family member does it.
Yeah.
Well, since you brought that up, family member, Casey Cook shared this story with me years ago. He said he had a cousin or some relative that needed to sell a home, buy a home, whatever. And he said that he went over there and just kind of shot the hay with him or whatever, didn't really, go through anything. He followed up and he says, well, I just didn't think you were as prepared and everything like that. Well, he said he didn't do his presentation because it was his cousin or somebody, like, they didn't do the full deal, walk through all these things. How many many of us has done that? You know the guy from work. Now you can read personality, that's different. At least show them you have the material, show them you're prepared, because you never know. I mean, and he was obviously very experienced, you know, but it was how you made that person feel. So, always be prepared to do the full presentation, no matter who it is. Based on their personality, you can cut through certain situations.
Absolutely.
Since you brought that up, I felt like it tied in a little bit there.
Perfect. So let's talk about systems and habits right now. So what systems or habits help you stay consistent? What do you have in place that helps you with consistency?
Following, well, I know that this is difficult for all of us, but what we're preached to is, you know, you're not selling real estate, you're following your schedule. There's no way to be consistent without following a schedule or a plan. No matter how motivated you are, there's so many distractions to all of us. The key is that it's on the calendar what you're doing, how are you protecting the time, and who's holding you accountable to that. I'm fortunate right now that I have somebody that does that. I have that schedule every single day. And if I miss something, it carries over to the next day. I think that's the biggest part too, is a lot of us, we have the missed follow-up calls this day, or who to communicate with, or the task. You called somebody, I'd love a market analysis report on my property to help me decide if I want to use my equity or not. And then you don't do it. And 3 days ago, I go, wait a minute. Somebody there, or if you have, you know, having something such where you have to carry it over. Don't skip it, don't miss it, don't skip it, don't miss it.
Yeah. What did you do before you had someone hold you accountable?
I would print it out and put it up. The visibility is key. That you have your key, the 20%, getting to the 20% items is the key to have right in front of you. And you have to do it early rather than later. Keeping it in front of you, even if it's on the calendar, you're not using it, you print it out and have it in front of you. Checking it off, or I always like to check it off because I felt like I accomplished something. And it's gotten to the point, this is wild, I'm more excited and feel more accomplished when whatever type of lead gen I'm doing, that it happened and I did it, touch, it's all recorded in the CRM, and then I go through the closings. I'm more excited about this part than the closings. You know, does that make sense?
Absolutely. You get that? Yeah. Because it's the activities.
Because we know what to do, and when you don't do what you know you're supposed to do, even though you have the closing, like, hey, yes, it's a blessing. This, you know, we help this wonderful family, or help this person do this. In the end, that's the beginning of that relationship. And you know, what did we miss? What did we not do? Because we go like this.
So true. So let's talk about lead gen. So, because I know that's what everybody wants to talk about. Right? It's my favorite subject. My eyes were rolling here. But what are your top 3 lead gen sources?
So everybody can have different ones. When I share these, it's not, hey, this is the only way. What I've found is most people that have sustained business over a long period of time, no 2 groups that I'm talking to does everything quite the same. So for me, it's referrals and repeat business from past clients and Sphere. That's one channel because everything is different to them. A second one, I'm going to give you 5, but the second one is the database nurture. Database nurture, I'm considering people that went cold, such as buyers and sellers who paused, long-term renters, people going through their life transitions, death, divorce, downsize. And some of that group, I may have not ever connected with, but they were referred to me. We never made a connection, but they're in the database. database, they're new, and that's another element. Then we have business to business. And direct outreach is basically, I would say, referrals that we've just not gotten a connection to yet. And then we have realtor to realtor, globally, referral, yeah. So that's really, I mean, in the beginning I probably did a lot more open houses. I really enjoy the open houses. Obviously with my world, it's very difficult for me to do, to get creative around. So the ideal situation is to grow my group a bit so we can capture that. But if you just, we'll share some things in a minute, but anyway, that's with 5.
That's good. And I think, I don't think you mentioned it, but there's so many different ways to lead generate. Don't you want to find something that kind of lights you up? Not something that you're just dreading every day?
Yeah, if you dread it, you're not going to do it. So, all of the learning tools, all of the coaches, all of the mentors, you have your Aspire situation, your FISBO situation, people buy leads in various platforms, you can run ads, social media, all of these different things. Find what you enjoy doing, because if you don't enjoy doing it, you're never going to do it. I used to door knock, the door knocking was fine. I hone in on these few because I'm always looking for the highest rate of return.
That was the next question.
Oh.
Of those, what is the highest one?
Highest rate of return, past clients and spirit. Generally, by the time I'm on my 12th, say two-way connection, not a voicemail, that, some form of two-way connection through that, whether it's messenger, text, call, I have an opportunity. 12, two-way communications, I have an opportunity. So, now whether or not the opportunity comes in, that's another math. But, I haven't dialed down through all of that. But 12 to get the opportunity, generally in my top program there. So,
You're going to Maria.
yeah.
You're right on track.
Yes, well, I wish I would have done it all sooner, though. I mean, or had the mindset sooner. But it's not, we all have our own journey, so no one's doing anything wrong. Yes, people are going to do certain things. We always have to be careful about not comparing our insides to people's outsides, because we never truly know. And that's not always easy to do when you are around a lot of people doing different things. Some people like to pay for the Zillow leads, and they're used to those calls. They have how they like to talk, and that's fine. I've never bought a lead before as far as Zillow or anything like that. I will say the one time we did Facebook lead ads through command, when it first opened up,
That was years ago. Yeah.
we had a lender pay for it, so technically I didn't pay. Out of 40 contacts, 12 transacted.
No.
What?
And guess how many I got?
Why?
Because I didn't follow up.
Oh.
I followed up at later points in time, transact. So that percentage grew, right? It was 12 out of 40, so whatever that percentage was, blows away, your 50 to 1.
Oh, yeah, 100 to 1. Yeah.
It's climbing, it's increasing, right?
Yeah.
So if I were to suggest, it would be utilizing command on the Facebook lead ads, 12 out of 40 in 1 month. But then I never ran it again. Anyway.
Because why write it if I'm not going to work it?
Exactly.
You gotta follow up.
Gotta follow up.
It is all about follow-up.
It works. It's just,
You gotta follow up.
anyway.
Just
Sorry,
been into
that was
it.
the one.
That's, okay. So what does a typical week of lead gen look like for you? What is your goal? I know follow-up is a big thing, so tell us a little bit about that.
So the goal is appointments. Just narrow it down to the appointments. What I found when I focus on the calls and the how many leads, how many calls, I track. Right now I'm tracking just the appointments. So, and we've seen different presentations where people would put it up on the wall. They would calculate how many appointments they needed for the year based on all your conversion rates and everything like that. I just had it on the wall and it started like 109 or So in the first quarter, I had 33 appointments in the first quarter. And out of the 33 appointments, I think we had 16 signed, and then 4 changing their time frame, and then like 7 that somehow our connection, or I got the numbers backwards on no connection was like 5 or 6 after that. Anyway, it's all about the appointments. So if you know you have to set, this is say 2 appointments per week. If you call 600 people with 0 appointments, so honing in on one thing, because it gets hard measuring all of these things, and I was always looking at, oh, I need this sales volume on the end. Bring it back, keep it smaller appointments. And this isn't me that did this. I'm learning, this is through all, Keller Williams, all of these channels. Figure out the appointment number. And then you can feel good about checking off how many two-way conversations you've had, how many leads, how many follow-ups. Just keep going until you get the appointment for the week. So that's what I've been doing is I get the list. It's a Monday through Friday situation. Some days can be more than others if you've got other things in the schedule. And the time frames too. I've gotten to where there's a community I can communicate with before I take the kids to school. So I start texting them or Facebook messaging them between 7 and 8 a.m. You might not be able to do that with everybody, but don't shy away from that to work to get some of these things in, some of the follow-ups in, some of these key touches in between 7 and 8 a.m. before you get going with the other things, and then you have to come back to it, and then maybe you have a different group that you're communicating with. I'm finding as I separate the groups a little bit, that helps too. And there's lacking too. I mean, there can be your business-to-business days, there can be your realtor-realtor moments, and then you can break up your DTD2.
Yes.
So I have the DTD2, I have a little different list. Here's my DTD2 list, here's my CRM follow-up list, here's my task list from those calls.
Do you ever think they're cleared?
100%.
Love to hear it. Love that.
Now, is it the best out there? Probably not. However, the assistants I have been proficient. We utilize it for everything, and they're even using, I didn't even know you could do this, but every opportunity has its own task list.
And you can customize it.
So once you sign someone to your buyer broker, they put them in the funnel in there, and it will generate your contact points if you use it to the full. My team's been doing that, so it can do a lot if you utilize it. So
And the price is right.
the price is right. That's for sure.
So you lost both of your assistants. How many hours a week would you be working?
Well, I think on average, most transaction coordinators will tell you it's about 6 hours per deal, right? 6. We heard that about right? Well, it could be 8 if they're handling all of the TRR coordination between repairs and listing prep, that type of thing. I wouldn't do it. I couldn't. Everybody's lifestyle is a little bit different too, right? So some of us have young kids, some of us are empty nesters, some of us don't have all the school activities and sports to go to every single day, for real. So you have to set your business up to, I know there's some more questions, set the business up to accommodate the lifestyle that you want. I had a bowl coach tell me that years ago, and I never did it. He's like, well, Ronnie, just do this. You can't show homes on nights and weekends because of your kid, all this stuff. Hire showing system, give the leverage that you need to have the life that you're in. Did I do it? No. So it was a constant, you talk about, there was a point in time between Shane and I, we were coaching 3 different teams. The kids were on different teams. And then we had jobs, so I had to look at 8 different schedules it's kind of like it is now. I'm looking at 7 or 8 different things to schedule anything, to be honest. But I figured it out.
You know, I'm just trying to figure out what I would eat.
So any of you that don't have 20 schedules to look at, it can be done.
So, I just have a question because I've heard this before, people sitting in my office, that as soon as they have help, leverage, whether it's one person or 2 people or however many, they get their time back. But what they actually get back is a better business. Because you didn't put in the time doing with these people. You couldn't do it like the people that you have.
I love how you said that.
Right?
Yes.
I mean, something falls.
Yes. It's time back to make your business better, time back to have more time to develop the relationships and make follow-up calls.
Yeah, that's it.
And in essence, through doing that, what we've learned at our Leadership Academy, it should double your business with the next person. You might feel it in different ways, but each person's leverage might need to be a little bit different. The first one I would always suggest is that if you're working 8 deals at a time and you don't have a transaction coordinator, your business will go down the next month because you can't keep up in your communication. So a sustainable business where you don't do this, you have to have the leverage, or you're doing it off hours, which I've met people that do it. They've done 85 deals on their own, and they're doing the transaction coordinator stuff from 8 to 1 in the morning, and they're keeping it full. I mean, they can be done.
For how long?
For how long? I can't get it done. I mean, I met people in our offices, close by, that's the work for them.
It's not fun.
Yeah.
Wow.
I was ready to quit real estate when I was in that place. I mean, I didn't know what else I was going to do, but I was like, this is going to kill me.
I bet.
Mm-hmm.
There's no mental break.
Yeah.
We have to have a mental break somehow.
So, okay, I'm going to just hit you with a few quick questions. So, what's been one of your biggest mistakes, and what did it teach you?
Not being prepared for your appointments. Practicing, or at least just going through, have a plan. Have a plan. Showing up without the plan makes everything harder. And, obviously being here at Keller Williams, we talk pretty quickly. But there are a lot of people that don't. They just show up and winging it. And it's definitely a mistake I was making in the beginning because I wasn't thinking about this experience affecting everybody that she knows. When I sit down for a consultation now, this was a mistake I made before, now I flat out let them know this presentation isn't just for you. This is so you can share this with the people you know and what I bring to the table.
That's powerful. That's really powerful.
So when you're talking to people,
but you're also leaving a message saying, I want you to share this with the people. You're planting the seed. He or she is going to kick in, and they're going to remember.
Yes, and I hit on the ones, so everybody, we know the people that, I'm going to build a house. I'm going to go buy a new house. I don't need any extension work with the builder. All my consultations, I'll bring up, hey, everybody thinks that if they're going to work with the builder, they don't need representation. Well, who are you negotiating with? How do you know what to do? So I share that with them, even though we're not building, so they can tell the other people, because that might be an opportunity there. And then, of course, what's the other one? Like the for sale by owners, I'll bring that up. So that's the biggest mistake, is just not realizing that my relationship with you can lead to And how do I
So good.
do that?
So good. So what is something that you know now, although you kind of hit on it, that you wish you knew earlier? I think when you were talking, it reminded me when you said preparation and having those conversations, but what else?
The database.
Ah,
What is your business? The database. It took 6 years before even though it was being pounded in us, right? Yeah, I mean, the people that attack that first, they'll have the success quicker. I mean, even for the hustlers, you can hustle the database, just like you can a neighborhood. If that's your choice, if you're gonna, you can hustle a neighborhood, but where are you gonna put it?
right, got it, the database.
How are you gonna follow up? So,
Yeah. Okay, so what's one thing you never miss in your business?
as far as like what I'm doing,
Yeah, what's one thing in your business you're like, I never miss this, as far as I don't do it, I always do it. Is there anything that you're just like, nothing gets in the way of this?
Picking up the check on closing.
Yeah. 100%. I would. It's reviewing the task list for the day. Whatever it is, it never misses. I'm seeing it at 8 a.m. every morning. All of the facets, the BTD2s, the follow-ups, the like task for somebody. Yeah, that, and then affirmations, and then there's a, maybe it's from the compound effect, where you write out your, and it's, I'm sure we've been taught it in COVID, you write out where you see yourself in 5 years, and there's other books that have gone deeper on it, but you write it all out, and you read it. You're supposed to read it, I guess, once in the morning, once in the evening, actually twice in the morning, of where you see yourself in 3 years or 5 years. Your business, your life. You got to kind of make it not too long. And they say it's a proven fact that the more you do that, the more
Visualization is.
the more opportunity you have for it to actually coming true. So that's one thing that I do every single day.
I love that.
Stephanie, energetic.
Yes.
Having done transactions with Ronnie, and I have to say that today was the first day I ever met you in person, but I feel like we know each other. I've never met him in person, ever,
Are you sure?
that I'm aware of.
I thought it was once a year.
But
Maybe
regardless,
you're right.
but regardless of it, we've spoken on the phone probably anywhere from 30 to 50 times, and every single time, this dude is kind, he is professional, and he is helpful. Every single time. And we've been involved in a gnarly transaction together
That's true.
that was not fun. And that's always stuck with me. And every time I see your name on my phone, I want to take the call because I know I'm going to speak with someone kind and professional.
Well, thank you. Appreciate that. And then the same for you guys. I mean, it does make a huge difference when you are working with people like that. Because it's, in the end, it's not about us, it's about the families that are affected. It's amazing how far that goes. Because when you have multiple offers, and you have apples to apples, everything's apples to apples, and everything matters. You know, Billy likes to cuss at me when the TR doesn't go well. Are you going to choose Billy over Stephanie?
Yeah.
I mean, because you have to share with your client. If you don't, you're not doing service. Because all of those things.
Because
I appreciate you pointing that out.
Thank you for that. Okay, best advice anyone ever gave you?
In regards to this,
In regards to anything.
Oh my gosh, really?
Yeah, anything.
Dang. Value the time that you have with the people that you have. Value the time that you have with the people that you have. Because you can't get your time back.
It's really good. Okay. Last question. One word for the market that we're in right now. What's one word?
Opportunity. Opportunity.
I didn't even pay him to say that. I didn't even want him to say that. Tell me more. Tell me more.
If you believe the market is down, it's the best time to gain market share.
Mm-hmm.
So the better that you are when things are tougher, the more that comes to you when things are easier. Talk to all your cash investors right now and ask them what they're doing. I said cash investors, not necessarily the lead. What are they doing right now? The big boys.
You're buying.
They're like, they love the market when the other people aren't buying as much.
Mm-hmm.
Because what does it do to price? It brings the price down. So, so opportunity. And yes, the more roadblock to what we do isn't the market. It's the friends and family members of the clients that give all of their advice that think they know the market or what is best, unfortunately. Because everybody's so educated, everything's on the internet. But the information is different. The middle region, they're up, 3 or 4%. You break the country into these regions.
Yeah.
And we're not really that far off. But the advice to all of the different regions is different. And I think a lot of the consumers that we deal with, if they're watching a news station that's based out of the information from New York and California, it's different.
You bet. So true. But you hit the nail on the head. There's opportunity in every single market, and you are absolutely correct. I've been around this thing long enough to see it happen. When the market's hard, that's where market share is taken. And quite frankly, the people that take the market share rarely give it back when the market gets better. So.
Yep, and before we wrap this up, I printed this so you can make a copy. I mean, everybody,
Yes.
we have copies of this, but there's the exercise, the memory jogger.
Yes.
We could all use this like probably once a month, but for people that you just say, hey, where do I start? You do this memory jogger. If you did this today, you would have more than one opportunity right now today. If you did this and talked to somebody on this, do I need to explain what it is?
Yeah.
So basically, the memory jogger, it just says, who's your kid's coach? Who are the parents on your kid's sports team? Who changes your oil? Who cuts your hair? Who does your dry cleaning? Who does the wife's nails? And who do you go get your massage from? Where do you go work out? Who's your farm? Like, there's so many things on here that if you probably won't even get halfway through this and you'll have business. Every single time I've been in Bold or any of these classes and we did this, I got an opportunity.
Yeah.
Every time. So if I was going to say, hey, if we're all in this situation, no matter if you've been doing this 10 years, 1 year, and you don't have the amount of business that you want to start this.
That's right. Doesn't matter. It does not matter how long you've been in, how many opportunities that you have closed. If you want to increase something, that is a way to do it. Because there's people you aren't thinking about.
And the money's in the follow-up. Some of them probably don't even know your real estate. Oh, yeah. It's fun. This is great.
It sounds humiliating.
Yes, but everybody has been in this boat. So, I went to this was last summer. My son's soccer team, they had a swim party, and we were like, they were saying, "Oh, we've only been in this house at X amount of time." I was like, I don't know. So I started talking with them, and they said, "Well, Ronnie, if we would have known you were a realtor, we would have used you to sell our home and buy this one." So the combined between the two of them was about 1.6 million between the two. People don't know what you're doing, right? And that's not the only time that's happened to me.
But and you don't, even if you tell them once, they won't remember.
Hence the memory jogger, because the memory jogger isn't just for us to write it down, it's to go into the CRM, to get into the database, which are two different things, which takes a while to figure that out. But it is two different things. And if you don't have that, you're not going to get the results. So even if I put the parents in there and I never called them, they still would have known. We weren't top of mind. So yeah, I need to do this again, because obviously I don't have those people in there.
So good. So really good. Okay, so I hope everyone got something out of this conversation today. I know I sure did. I took some notes. Success in this business doesn't come from doing everything. It comes from doing the right things. And Ronnie, through your testimony today and your business, you kind of honed in where your success is coming from. And it's no magic. It's just got to
It's
do
not.
it.
It's not.
got it. It's clarity and focus in doing it. So for you all, don't leave here thinking after everything he's doing, but at least pick one or two things, and it might be able to help you in your business. So let's give him a hand, Ronnie. Thank you. Does anyone have questions? I'm sorry. I didn't want to. Okay, go ahead, Jason.
Yeah.
We've got our newest agent here, Pat.
Raise your hand.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
Pat comes from corporate America, executive world like you. What did you do for those first 8 to 14 transactions in your first year? I mean, that's pretty anomalous right there.
We just started with the sphere.
People you already knew.
Yeah, literally.
Sort of.
Put name, email, mailing address, and phone number into an Excel spreadsheet, and let every single one of them know what I was doing. There's scripts in Ignite. The Ignite script. They're real good with just says, "Hey, I'm letting you know I've changed career paths, and I'm excited to share with you that I'm in real estate."
Where did you find that? Where is it in the community?
We'll get you overloaded with resources.
There you go.
That's how new I am. I mean, like,
Well, and also, honestly, now that you have ChatGPT, you can just, the better questions you ask it, the better answers you get. Always review your answers because they're not always appropriate. You can literally just say in there, "I'm just getting out of corporate business out of the last 20 years. I'm in real estate. Who should my first phone calls be to, and how should I go about that? How should I put my sphere into the spreadsheet?" And then ask it another question, and then it'll start to get to know you to it. But anyway, that's all I did. I started with the sphere.
appreciate it.
Yep.
And I would say this: most people that I run into that have built teams. Let's just talk about locally outside of here. Some of the prerequisites to be able to come in as a team member, let's just say a sales partner, would be that you have to bring in 250 name, email address, and phone number, or you're not even going to be here. That's one of the first things. That is the first thing. The better groups, I would say, or that's what they should do.
Have you noticed have you noticed, obviously you can buy leads. I don't know how much those are yet, but I assume that would help you at least get to a point.
I'm sure it
If
can.
you don't,
I was focusing on database management.
that's how you build it, right?
No, you gotta focus on what you have already and work those.
Gotcha.
Let me give you a number. This might help. So right now, people that you know you already, it's a 12 to 1, maybe 15 to 1 just because of the market a little bit. For every 12 to 15 people you talk to, someone's going to either transact or give you a referral to transact.
Mhm.
But on leads that you're buying, it's 100 to 1.
Gotcha.
For every 100 people, they don't know you. There's no relationship.
Sure.
Remember, this is a relationship business. And I'm not saying that eventually those one may turn into more, but the nurturing is much longer. It could be years.
Gotcha. Okay.
I think we like that enough business where we would rather work with someone we know, right, or someone we know now, because someone that you know has similar personalities with their friends, right? Like there's
Yeah.
where like you can get some crazy person off of Facebook, that might be right and stuff like that.
Well, then a lot of coaches will say not every coach, but there are coaches out there that suggest that to fill an immediate business pipeline is your expired need for some owners. However, you have to be prepared for that conversation, probably a little bit different than the sphere. That's why they say start with your sphere. They bring the 200 names, 250 to get you build your confidence, do these things, because if you go your expired FISBO route, that you just have to be prepared. You're paying to get phone numbers. You're paying for some of these things, and then just have to be ready to be yelling, cussed out, and going on. Now, you might have, if you hit the volume hard enough, you might have. I know people that are really good at it, but they hate it, but they do it. They hate it. They're really good at it, and they get a lot of business. And that's what kind of finds out, what is most comfortable to you? What do you enjoy? I mean, maybe start with a few sphere calls and start calling expired and see how you like it. There's training for that. There's less training in talking to people you know.
That's
When
exactly
we talk about your nurture, what does that look like? I mean, do you have this is my touch plan, it's this many, market reports on your neighborhood, this many listing alerts, this many blog, is it mapped out like that, or it's just like, you're in my system and we're going?
It's mapped out.
Yeah.
Each different group has a select group of touches, so we don't overtouch or undertouch.
Mm-hmm.
And the longer we've gone, the more specific we've gotten to who they are. That's the hardest thing. We talk about what's changing the business. It's a relationship business more than ever. Well, when you have your CRM, let's just say 100 people, and 10 of them are teachers, 20 of them have a dog, 30 of them are in sports worlds, let's say baseball, soccer, whatever it is. How can you differentiate yourself and have communication tied to just their one aspect? And that takes a lot of work, because when you go into creative design on the back end to hone in on these groups, now you've created 50 smart plans. That's the advice I mean. You're talking about taking this to another level. Isn't that kind of what you're getting at on that?
Yeah,
That's what we do. It's spelled out before we start for the year, because we do events too, so we have to be careful. So maybe our past clients are we know exactly how many touches. It's like 45 touches or 60 touches, whatever it is. We have it all down, and it's all spaced out accordingly. So that way,
is it on the spreadsheet, or is it in CRM? Is it in command, or is where does it live? Okay.
it's all coming in, and I don't touch it.
Cool.
I was gonna ask if you were.
Valerie does it. Valerie, my assistant, Valerie does that. We just review.
So you have a licensed assistant and a TC? Brother, we're the same person.
Well, there you go.
Everything's the same person here going, but it's the same.
But yeah, it takes a lot of work to do that. But yeah, the years are planned out in advance.
Mm-hmm.
Does your assistant also sell?
No, she keeps hers in micro referral status. She doesn't want to do any of that.
But if she brings something in, she gets your referral or something.
Yeah, we do referral fees for her.
What's essentially?
So that's her incentive. Like her bonus incentive is when she refers what?
We had the same exact message. That's really funny.
Well, we should talk more.
We
It's
should talk
funny
more.
because
We should all talk more and go sit down and talk.
before we
Let's
came,
do
I was like,
Go ahead, Jericho, do you have a question?
I was just gonna say, before we came, I actually was thinking about it and I thought, you know, you guys are a lot alike, Grady and, yeah.
Down to the socks.
Yeah.
I know.
And I was gonna figure out which ones would be fun today.
When he started with spreadsheets, I knew Grady was immediately going.
So,
I knew I liked you, but we have.
We heard what I did
so-
before.
Yeah.
I probably measure data in ways people don't do, just because that's what I used to do.
yeah.
It was funny. So, and I know like way too many lenders, and there's one of them who like, you have to meet. You guys will be best friends. So.
Or best
There we
enemies.
go. And I hate to like put another one of those in your world, but that's.
Thanks. Not bad.
Well, like, when we meet him, you're gonna go, oh yeah. You know.
They already know.
So, fun fact,
Corey Clement. Yeah, I got you.
Okay.
fun fact, Ronnie and I used to sell ladies' shoes at Dillard's in our 20s together.
It's a small world.
That's the Ronnie you talk. I really want to say Ronnie. Oh, so you took my place when I left, basically.
That's hilarious.
Do what?
I sold there.
You were there too?
I'm the one who got Jericho the job there.
And
No
Ronnie,
way.
y'all
This
worked
happened.
there at the same time. That's why it always surprises me whenever he's like, he does.
We've come so close to bumping into each other, Daisy. There was nothing like running up and down stairs in a suit
Oh, yeah.
when you got 50 women out there.
With
I
5
was
boxes.
sweating.
You have to go upstairs?
I mean,
At that one,
all,
Crossroads.
yeah, up and down.
And it's all about knowing your inventory. All about
it was
it.
the only one that had stairs. Right? Pittsburgh didn't have stairs. I don't know, there was always. So yes, we knew each other in a different way.
All right, well, we really went over, but I'm gonna go ahead and